guys, it is Q-Killer here, and today we're going to be watching a gameplay, and I went 64 and 28 in this gameplay. Actually, in the end of the gameplay, I actually went 70 and, shit. I went 70 and 34, but for some reason it only goes up to 10 minutes of actual gameplay, 10 minutes around that. But what the fuck? I was playing this on Nuketown last night, but today the topic of the story I wanted to talk about was how I tore my meniscus. Now, if you guys don't know what the fuck a meniscus is, trust me, not a lot of people do. Because every time when I went to school and I told everybody I tore my meniscus, they were looking at me like, bless you? I'm like, bruh, okay. A meniscus is this thing, it's a cartilage at the top of your shin where your joints bend and shit. It's a shock absorbing cartilage pad thing. Every time you take a step, it absorbs shock. Every time you jump and you land, it absorbs shock. And how I tore it was I was playing football and I jumped over a kid and I didn't stick the landing. I had my right leg extended, and when I hit the ground, my shin went back and my femur went forward, and then they shifted back into place. That's how I tore it. So later on that day, I went to the doctor. I got no, hang on. I was out of school from like 11. I left school at 11 because I went to the doctor's I went to the nurse's office. She called my dad. She told me it could be a lot more serious than you actually think it is. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. It's kind of my knee, you know. I couldn't move my leg at all. Whenever I hit the ground, my calf was just completely numb. I told my doctor that my calf was completely numb, and she told me that my calf absorbed a lot of the fucking shock, and that's why it was numb. But she sent me home. My dad had to take me to this urgent care place. And the doctor looked at it, and this bitch, she was 5 foot, and she's Indian, okay? This girl looks more ugly than Meniscus, what is her name? Meniscus, that one girl that got shot in the head, whatever her name is. She's about as ugly as her. And this girl walks in, and she's like got this fucking Indian accent, okay? And it was the funniest shit. And she's like, you tore your meniscus. And I'm like, my meniscus? She's like, your meniscus? And I'm like, okay. I was laughing at the way she said it, and like I didn't want to make it obvious. But she had to feel up my leg to about my mid part of my thigh. And she was like, does this hurt? No. Does this hurt? No. My dad's looking at me like, the fuck? And like, it was weird because after I get out of the doctor's office, he's like, you said nothing hurt. And I'm like, no, I know. But the only thing that really did hurt was when she really like pressed really hard on the very front of my kneecap. And she said there's nothing wrong with the 4 main ligaments that hold your knee into place. It's kind of like a cup thing. It was kind of weird because she felt everywhere and it didn't hurt. It didn't at all. But then the next day when I felt where she felt, it really hurt really, really bad. I don't know if it was sore or if it was, I don't know. But she said I tore my meniscus. I had to get this hinge brace. She told me I had to get a hinge brace and to come back in 2 weeks if the pain and the swelling wasn't down. So I got the hinge brace and I've been wearing it for about 2 weeks now. Almost 2 weeks. On Tuesday it'll be 2 weeks. And it's really uncomfortable. The first time I put it on, it was really comfortable because it really helped a lot. And these fucking braces, they absorb a lot of your step and a lot of your stuff. And it's, I don't know, it just really helps a lot more than I thought it would. And with the hinges, it actually gives it a lot more support than I thought it did. I took a hinge out and I walked around with it, and it felt a lot more weird than it did with the hinges in. You can, yeah, on mine you can, I don't know why, but you can take your fucking hinges out. I thought that was pretty cheap, but apparently that's what, whenever you tear your meniscus or you hurt your knee like that, that's what they give you. So I get home, I put the brace on, I was walking around with it, and given I can't really bend my knee, so whenever I did try to bend my knee, like my knee was popping, like there was popping noises coming out. And that was like the bubbles and shit that are like formed in there now. And I told my doctor that, and she's like, yes, because your kneecap moved and shit. All of the stuff, all of it moved. Now there's air pockets in there, and so every so often your knee's gonna pop. I was like, great. So later did I come to find out that I'd have to wear it during football season and all of that stuff. But the next day after I get back to school, I'm able to walk and everything. I got my entire mobility in my knee back, except I can't bend it more than I think about maybe 100 degree. 100-degree angle. I can't bend it more than that. It kind of sucks, but, you know, me being a hard-headed fucking retard, I didn't want to miss the gym game that we were playing. It was one of my favorite games out of all gym class, and I really wanted to play it, and it had to happen to me the day I tore my meniscus. So my dumbass decides to start running. Because, you know, I could do that. I could walk, I could run really fast. And then, like, I don't know, I was running, and I juked the kid out, and my shin shifted and went back into place again. So, you know, I'm sitting there like, oh, fuck. I thought I tore it more. But later on, I came to find out that that's okay, kind of. It's not really supposed to, but then it is supposed to happen. Because your meniscus holds your shin and shit in place, so it doesn't move. And doesn't move around and incline and shit. That happened to me again that day, but after that, about 2-3 hours later, I was sitting in there in class. I was on one of our Chromebooks, and I was like stretching my knee out, right? I completely extended it forward. My kneecap pops back into place, and it was the most weird fucking feeling I've ever had. It was the most weirdest. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, just feeling it go back into place. It was like a sensation. It didn't hurt at all. It was a sensation, and then it was like, what the fuck just happened? I was sitting there, and I'm like, my teacher looked at me, she's like, what? I'm like, I think I just popped my knee back into place. She's like, oh, that's good. I get up, and I can walk perfectly fine. Given after my shin shifted again in gym class, I couldn't walk at all. Like, I couldn't even move my leg. That's how fucking bad it was. But then recess came along. I'm sitting there walking around and shit, and I'm just sitting there walking, and then my friend walked past me. I had to talk to him. And I start speeding up walking. And my shin moves again, it shifts again. I was pissed off when it happened the second time. But this time it was a lot more, like, weird, because this time one of my, I think it was your lateral ligament on the left side of your kneecap. It's like right where, I don't know, it's like in the midsection of your kneecap. That one started to, like, I don't know, it pulled on it. And it really hurt, really fucking bad. And then my leg was completely numb, like I couldn't move it at all. So they had to get my nurse, the nurse, back on the playground, and I couldn't get up, okay? I could not get up at fucking all. I couldn't walk, I couldn't do any of that. And she had two of the biggest kids in our grade pick me up. Okay, well, they only got me to the doors to get into the school. There's this long-ass hallway, okay? So my friends had to take me, and they had to fucking drag me through the halls. And then when I was going, there's like this brick floor too. And as my back was like hitting the brick floor, it like, I don't know, it was a weird, really weird sensation. I did not enjoy that sensation, like, whatsoever. It felt so fucking weird. I screamed out, what is this feeling? My friends were dying of laughter. So my friends, my nurse gives me the crutches she had to give me. Because I couldn't walk on it. And I absolutely could not use fucking crutches if my life even depended on it. So I'm sitting there, you know, just like looking like a fucking waddling penguin, and I had to go up the elevator. So I get into class, okay? My friend's carrying my books and shit. I get into class, and I take my brace off, and this is when, like, I thought my life was fucking over. Like, I wanted to die so bad after this. I was trying to get my kneecap to pop back into place. Well, I sounded like a fucking whale giving birth. That's how bad it was, and that's how much it hurt. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, it'd probably be 11. It was so fucking bad, and it just felt like my leg was on fire for a second. I don't know why, it just really did, and it hurt really bad. So I get back to my friend's house, because I was going to go to his house after school, and I'm sitting there and I'm just icing my knee, right? And I'm perfectly fine, you know, and then the next day, I'm perfectly fine again. My kneecap popped back into place while I was sleeping, so when I woke up, I could walk and everything. It was still a little sore. So that's what really caught me off guard. I'm like, I don't know if it popped back into place, but then I felt it was back into place. It was perfectly fine. That's kind of what knocked me off guard, though, is because I didn't want it to do it while I was just randomly doing something. But then the next day after that, I took some ibuprofen and shit, and I was perfectly fine. I can walk and everything. Ever since then, I have not ran. It's really sucked going upstairs as well, because, like, you put pressure on it, and then it feels like a bruise. It feels really bruised and stuff. But now that, you know, everything's fine and shit, I can walk without my brace on. And the only thing it feels like is I want you to take your hand, I want you to squeeze your arm with like 80% of pressure. 80% of your pressure. Now, the gameplay is over, but that is what it feels like every single dang time I take a step. But anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. This meniscus thing is going to be great. I have to go back to the doctor on Tuesday, and if anything's wrong with that, we get an MRI and shit. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.